Well, hello again, Beatle fans, and welcome to another episode of Beatlemania Revisited. This is a riveting episode, so stay tuned. So today I'm going to introduce you to my pride and joy, my 12-string Rickenbacker guitar. And the reason that I have it is because the Beatles played Rickenbacker. So in 1959, when the Beatles were playing in the pubs in Hamburg, Germany, before they were famous, John Lennon bought a Rickenbacker Capri 325 6-string Rickenbacker, and it was just a natural finish. But he then had it painted black at some point, and when you saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, John was playing that 6-string Rickenbacker, but it was painted black. But originally it was just a natural finish. He had it painted after he purchased it. Then in 1963, while visiting his sister in Illinois, George Harrison paid a visit to a music store in Illinois, and he purchased a 6-string Rickenbacker, a 425 Rickenbacker that he had. So, in 1963, 1964, the Beatles exploded onto the world stage, and the president and owner of the Rickenbacker Guitar Company discovers that the most popular band in the whole world, that two of the members are playing Rickenbacker guitars. Mostly John was famous for his Rickenbacker because you saw him playing it all the time. So when the Beatles were flying over to play the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time in 1964, the owner of Rickenbacker reached out to Brian Epstein, the Beatles manager, and said, when the Beatles are in New York City, could I meet with them at the hotel? I want to show them this new guitar that I created, maybe give it to them. So what they had done is the Rickenbacker Guitar Company had created this 12-string Rickenbacker guitar, which I hold in front of me right here. It jingles, it jangles, it's jangalicious. So the Beatles met with Francis C. Hall of Rickenbacker in the hotel in New York when they were there to play the Ed Sullivan Show. And originally, they gave the guitar to John Lennon to play. And John played it for a while and thought, I don't think this is for me. I'm not really comfortable with this 12-string guitar. And George was back at the Plaza Hotel. He was sick in bed with a flu bug. And the Beatles had met, Francis C. Hall at a different hotel to try out the Rickenbacker. So the Beatles said, hey, can we take this good guitar over to George and let him mess with it for a while? So they brought it over to the Plaza, and George started noodling with it, and he said, I think this guitar has some great potential to sort of give us a new sound going forward on certain songs. And so it really changed what happened. So this was the guitar that was given to George was the second 12-string Rickenbacker guitar that Rickenbacker had ever made. But it was the first Rickenbacker that had the tuning knobs all sort of in multi-directions. So it was really the first prototype of what would become a really famous 12-string Rickenbacker guitar. And so the Beatles went on to use that Rickenbacker, led by George Harrison, and it gives it the signature sound of a lot of famous Beatles songs that you will recognize. Listen to how authentic this is in Ticket to Ride. You get the idea. And then, of course, it's the signature sound in the song You Can't Do That. That's the 12-string Rickenbacker. And then in A Hard Day's Night, the very first chord that you hear is not exactly what I'm going to play, because all the Beatles are playing different notes and on different instruments, but it sort of has this sound. And the 12-string is on that sound, right? It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, I got a thing that you do will make me feel alright. Yeah, now I feel alright. Yeah, now I feel alright. And that's that signature signature sound of the 12-string Rickenbacker. So a few years ago, there was a fellow selling this Rickenbacker on Kijiji, and I got in touch with him. I said, don't sell that guitar till I get there. So I drove through a snowstorm to Niagara Falls on a winter night that was just a miserable night, freezing cold, lots of snow. And I saw the guitar, I tried it. It's very hard to play it actually, but I bought it because I wanted to be able to get that Beatles sound for certain songs. And of course, once George created that sound using the 12-string, other bands followed suit. On the Beach Boys' Sloop John B. You hear. Come on the sloop John B. With grandfather and me. Around the Nassau town we did roam, drinking all night, got into a fight. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. Well, that's not exactly how they play it, but you get the idea, it's close. And then the Byrds, of course, got onto this whole idea of the 12-string with Mr. Tambourine Man. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. So, and the Byrds used it. So Roger McGuinn of the Byrds, who used to have, he wore picks on all of his right-hand fingers. He would be plucking away on the 12-string and doing all kinds of beautiful things in that song, in the song Turn, Turn, Turn. But George Harrison really got this movement started of using the Rickenbacker 12-string, this particular model. So the song that I want to do for you today is a Beatles song written by Paul McCartney, but Paul handed the song to John Lennon to sing the main vocal on, and it was one of their better songs on the album they released in the UK called Beatles for Sale. And in the UK, they put this song on an album called Beatles 6. They were hoping it would be like a big smash hit, but after they recorded it, they thought, it's a good song, but it's not going to be a major single. But on this song, George plays this very unique guitar lick on the 12-string, which I'll play for you, and it's sort of interspersed throughout the song. So I thought I would do that for you as best I can. So let's have a go at it here. When I'm walking beside her, people tell me I'm lucky. Yes, I know I'm a lucky guy. I remember the first time I was lonely without her. Yes, I'm thinking about her now. Every little thing she does for me. And you know the thing she does for me. When I'm with her, I'm happy. Just to know that she loves me. Yes, I know that she loves me now. There is one thing I'm sure of, I will love her forever. 'Cause I know love will never die. Every little thing she does for me. And you know the thing she does for me. Every little thing she does Well, there you go. The jingly, jangly, janglicious 12-string Rickenbacker, which changed the sound of music that was playing by a lot of bands by the middle part of the 1960s. So I'll bring the Rickenbacker back for a couple more episodes when the Beatles used it in other songs. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.